Hello everyone, I'm here to do the 2026 collective reading. First, I'm gonna do, just spat out a little bit about the astrological shifts and movements throughout the year. Excuse me. And then I'll move into pulling some cards and tapping into the energy. So we have Neptune and Saturn moving into Aries. So January to March is going to feel like a giant launch pad, because Aries is that fast moving, assertive, highly motivated energy. So that's going to be towards us and our goals. We're going to tackle challenges and have high motivation and really take personal responsibility for things. So this is January to March energy, when Neptune and Saturn step into Aries. We can already feel that. We kind of had a slow start to this year, which was expected. We're still shedding the rest of the snake. But once we get into the energy of the horse, then shit's just gonna take off from there. So that's where when these planets shift fully into Aries, that's when and they're really gonna take off. And then April to June, Uranus moves into Gemini. So that's when excitement comes back. New ideas, lots of things that have to do with Gemini have to do with communication and with technology. So for things like that. So maybe I'm seeing maybe that'll be probably something to do with AI, right? Or something along those lines. About 6 months in, Jupiter moves into Leo. So that's when we really get a nice kickstart into our confidence and creativity and self-expression. So, hello. Thank you for joining. And then also halfway through the year also is when the sun goes into Leo as well. So when the sun, Jupiter, and the moon all line up in Leo, it's a really inspiring energy. But come the fall time is when things start to get a little rough astrologically. I just feel like it's big frowny face energy. Maybe that's just for me, but so that's when Mercury is going retrograde in Libra in October, when the sun's in Libra. And then so the sun and the moon and Mercury all lining up in Libra, Mercury retrograde. It's going to be great for us Librans. It's going to be great for everybody, but it's really going to be great for us. So Libra energy is all about fairness and balance. So it's really, and relationships and partnerships. So it's really going to attack that area. And then Mercury is about communication and technology. So the mixture of communication and relationships, partnerships, fairness. Oh boy, it's going to be a great time come the fall of 2026. Anyway, so 2026 is very transformative and energy, very with lots of personal growth. We're coming off of the year of the snake, and it's like and into the year of the horse, so we're coming from completely shedding into our new skin and really taking off head first, no hesitation, just full-blown confidence into the direction of our goals, which leads us to really solidifying and fully embodying that transformation. So we do actually change. So we do actually grow. This year's going to be a great one for a lot of people. No, I'm not going to do that. I was thinking about doing A or B, but I think I'm just going to do the one full collective because I'm feeling the two different energies, but I don't want to tap into those. I'm going to go just do the collective as a whole. All right, so now I'm going to pull some cards. I tapped into the energy for a minute after or before I started and went live. I tapped into the energy, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I wrote my little notes down here. I saw like a scene of like tragedy with like I saw like blood and screaming. I could hear like sirens. There was like smoke in the air. It was just like for a flash of a second, but it was terrifying. And I felt like something tragic is going to happen. I don't know where, I don't know when, I don't know how, but there's something that is going to shift the like obviously we've been having tragic things happen left and right? But I feel like this is something big, like bigger, and that's not to minimize anything else, but like something really tragic. And I'm seeing it. I'm not sure. That's just what I'm tapping into. All right, let's break out. I'm going to do yes. You can, if you go to my profile, you'll find the link to my website, and you can book on there. All right, I'm going to do the first 3 months of the year first. The energy of the first 3 months. January, February, March of 2026. And when I had that like vision, I was like, my heart was pounding in my chest, and it was like I was feeling like being there. It was crazy. It was not so. This makes a lot of sense. So the first 3 months of the year is a lot of reflection energy, a lot of mirrors, a lot of tying up loose ends and fixing ourselves, and getting rid of the things that we're no longer tolerating. But I feel like a lot of the last of the stuff is like, it's something that is mirrored in you, it's like a something that you're working on in yourself. I feel like is for the collective. It's like the last of what is it you're leaving behind. And I'm gonna grab tarot. I'm hearing don't look away. Even when it's tough, even when you don't want to see yourself, I'm hearing, as the bad guy, as the one who's the problem. You can't move forward without doing so. Does that make sense? You have to face it. It's your shadow. First 3 months, lots of shadow work going on in the collective. Okay. Yeah, see, lots of, we're starting anew. We're making our own luck. Five of Swords. Eight of Swords. I feel like they're asking you, what are you sacrificing for comfort? Now is the time to no longer put up with sacrificing for comfort. Because it's not really comfortable. It's, on the surface, it's comfortable because you don't have to face it, you don't have to deal with it. But it's still eating you away inside. Like self-sabotage. Has to do with that fear of seeing your reflection, seeing, you know, the mirror in your actions. So this is a lot of inner work for the first 3 months of the year. Ooh. Yeah. The Moon and the Queen of Pentacles. Something will reveal itself when all is balanced, is what I'm hearing. Things aren't balanced right now. Anywhere for anyone. Nobody is balanced. Nothing is balanced right now. Everything's chaotic. Everything is out of whack. So you're not seeing the whole picture. You're not seeing clearly. But when things start to level out, that's when clarity will come through for you. And with clarity comes stability. That's it. That's all they want me to spat out for the first 3 months. Let's move on to the next. All right. March, April, May, June. April, May, June. This is where you flourish, baby. This is where growth happens. January to March is the rest of the shedding, is the rest of the quick move, is like we're getting rid of the last of the crap in the first 3 months to get ourselves into alignment in trajectory with our goals. And then April, May, June, gardens. April, May, June comes the time when things are going to flourish all around us. When we really, I'm hearing, what is it, the spring, is it an equinox or is it a solstice? No, summer solstice, winter solstice. It's the spring equinox, I believe. That's when things will really shift into this direction. And that's that fun energy. Things start to feel lighter. I'm feeling lighter energy. I'm feeling like mucky, trudging through the swamp energy. You know, we're still kind of like, in the first 3 months, but now this is like, we've reached the clearing. I'm just seeing like contentment and you finally balanced yourself out. But I'm seeing contentment. Because you finally are headed in a direction for yourself and not for other people. We're completing a cycle collectively. And it's going to reach us at this halfway point in the year. So if we take these inner turmoils and we manifest them into the physical collective, the first 3 months are kind of like, what are we doing, guys? Get your shit together collectively, right? No longer tolerating and self-sacrificing, and also recognizing our own part to play. And then for the next 3 months is it's like the sun coming up over the horizon for the collective. It's clarity. It's like, because we're finally shifting collectively. We're finally ending a chapter somewhere. We're finally headed in a direction of positivity. That's that Aquarian. We've got Aquarius all over the place right now. In every freaking planet is an Aquarius. That's a lot of humanitarian energy. That's a lot of collective energy. A lot of less about the self and more about the us, of the unity. So that's kind of what is driving this here. So we got the Fool, Judgment, and the Four of Pentacles. The Fool, I feel like, the Fool is the beginning of the tarot, which just followed the Ten of Swords. So that's the beginning of the cycle that we just ended with the Sword. So this is about halfway through the year, when things really shift for the collective, about 6 months in. And then we began again. It starts with forgiveness. I'm seeing this as a giant, like, or feeling it rather. I'm feeling this as a big, giant, collective forgiveness. And then, like, you know, everybody kumbaya. But also, but then it narrowed down to also, like, in the self, like, forgiveness in ourselves. Well, that's where it starts. When we forgive ourselves, then it becomes easier to forgive others, and then in whole, the collective. So I feel like this is a lot of new beginnings and forgiveness, like starting fresh with trust, a lot of trust, inner trust. But the judgment, the forgiveness card, the judgment card came out with the Four of Pentacles, which was upside down. I just feel like that's that, like, struggle of, maybe it's struggle of being able to forgive yourself. Maybe that's going to be the struggle of the collective being able to forgive, you know, each other or whatever. There's just going to be a little hiccup in that forgiveness when things start to balance out. All right, let's move on to the next half of the year, which is July, August, September. Right? Yeah. We got crying. I feel like it's theatrics. It didn't feel genuine when I looked at it, when I tapped into it. I was like, this is not like a genuine crying. This is theatrical, like on a stage, right? That's very Leo energy. Very look at me, look at me. That's the energy of it, yes. And then the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. The very look at me card. The Queen of Cups. Oh my goodness, where'd she go? Get back here. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, so we're feeling ourselves in July, August, September. We're feeling good. You better save us some of that shit, because come fall time, when you ain't feeling good, you're gonna want to tap into those reserves. So, lots of creation and flowing, like I'm seeing. I'm just seeing lots of, like, everybody is at the top of their game. Like, everybody is feeling themselves, is feeling great, is really tapped and tuned into that Leo lion strength energy. But what's the other side of what's the other side of Leo energy, right? Is kind of like overconfidence, selfishness, things like that. Because you got the Four of Cups and the Five of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. I feel like this is a reminder to kind of wrangle yourself in at this time and not let yourself go full blast, like full-blown Leo embracing energy, you know? Because come the high highs comes the low lows. So I feel like this is a reminder to balance, because eventually, right, you'll reach a point where you're still receiving things, but you're no longer feeling it. You're no longer seeing the joy in it. So I feel like I don't know yet for that, for collectively here. But five, and you got the Five of Wands, which came out upside down. I feel like that is just that, like, who are you fighting energy, right? Like I feel like this is very, I'm looking at this problem, and I'm looking at this problem, and I'm looking at this problem, and this problem, and this problem, this problem, right? But I ain't looking at this problem. I feel like this is it's weird energy, like not wanting to, like, it's very focusing on the outside. Which then brings you to the Five of Pentacles energy. It's very scarcity, lack. I feel like this is that pre-shadow Mercury retrograde pre-shadow phase before we step into it. And it's gonna hit like a ton of bricks if you don't. Sorry about that. I lost connection there for a second. All right. Where was I? We're gonna be coming off that high Leo, self shining sunshine energy into this drop of lack, of confused. Like, it's very, like, if that makes sense, like, if I'm making sense, like, very, like, I don't know what's going on kind of energy. Like, it's weird. That's weird. That's gonna be that weird. I'm feeling in, like, September. Weird energy in September. Okay. Last 3 months, let's tap into that Mercury retrograde energy. Buckle up. Sickness. Let's see what the sickness is. Seeing a disconnection. Lack of creation. It's all around partnerships. So, Three of Cups, upside down. That's the disconnection I'm feeling. The Empress, upside down. That's the lull in creation. That's the writer's block, as so to speak. And then the Lovers, right side up. So, unsurprisingly, this is all based around relationships and partnerships, as well as self, and the relationship between the two. Combined with the Sickness card. So, this could be anything. I'm not saying, oh, you know, your love life is going to go to shit in the fall. I'm saying maybe you have a disconnection with your partner, with a friend, with a parent, with a child, with a grandparent, with an aunt, uncle, cousin, brother-in-law, whatever the fuck, right? But I'm hearing, like, not to fear it. Like, what's going to come out of it, out of this retrograde? You also got the Page of Cups. So it's like the Lovers and the Page of Cups. And then the Four of Wands. I'm seeing a shift. I feel like it's a shift from it's that when Mercury goes retrograde in Libra in the fall, and it starts to highlight our relationships of all kinds, it also points to the fairness. So on a collective level, you know, where are we not being fair collectively? In so many fucking places, right? That's going to highlight that. That's going to highlight that in our personal relationships. It's going to slow us down a little bit, but it's not going to stop us. It's a pause. It's a pause. It's a time to reflect. Because then out of it comes reconnection, or like connection that is greater, more balanced, something that is rare and like new. And I'm hearing like when pigs fly, right? So like the little pig. So when pigs fly, I'm hearing like believe in that stuff. Believe in when pigs fly. And I'm seeing joy again by the end of 2026. Like collectively and personally, there's going to be a lot more joy. On the other side of Mercury retrograde, shocker, right? When things start to recalibrate properly, or recalibrate after that shakeup. Something better is on the other side. Something that deepens the connection. I'm seeing like a deeper connection. I'm seeing the collective as a whole coming closer. And I know we have, you know, all the bullshit going on, and, you know, and whatnot. And the reptilians think that they're, you know, that they're on top, but clearly they're not, because by the end of this year, the collective unity is so much closer. Because we collectively are seeing so much clearer. And I feel like that's the sickness. Is that we're no longer accepting collectively things that aren't right and just, and that is very Pluto and Aquarius, right? As well. I feel a lot of connection for the collective and a lot of joy, something to celebrate. I'm hearing like something to celebrate. So by the end of this year, there'll be something to celebrate. Now that I've done this year reading, and I'm trying to think of when I tapped into that energy before this even started. I feel like that's the first half of the year. The first half of the year, collectively, something's going to shift dramatically. And then the second half of the year, is when things really start to come together. We as a collective really start to come together. Regardless of them trying to pull us apart. All right, so that was the reading for the year 2026. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. If you would like a one-on-one reading into your own reading of the year, feel free to message me or go to my website and book directly. And yes, I will catch you guys all on the flip side. See ya.